Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from UFO sightings to never-before-seen footage of Bigfoot that will blow your mind. Ready? Let's dive right in. If Bigfoot had the internet, I'm not sure if he'd be particularly happy about the fact that UFOs have taken over the paranormal space instead of an attempt to find him. Either way, with all the UFO sightings that we've had, it was only a matter of time before we had a Bigfoot sighting like this. If you pay attention to the clip, you'll see that there's a large creature or being with a human-like stature and gait moving around the trees. I know the clip isn't exactly HD, but bear with me. It's footage from a Ring camera. A closer look at the clip and you'll notice that the being looks like it becomes invisible for some seconds and then visible again. Once Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist, saw it, he stated that this was definitely a Bigfoot and that what we are seeing was just him activating his cloaking abilities. This is something that many don't know, but some individuals in the paranormal community have long theorized that Bigfoot has a cloaking ability which allows him to get away from people, namely us. If that's to be believed, then that's definitely what you and I are seeing. Julius, our science whiz, on the other hand, isn't too sure. He believes this is nothing but a glitch that we are seeing due to the quality of the clip and the low-light condition it was filmed. It's either that or the clip has been doctored, at least according to him. You've seen the clip, so what do you think?
Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this?
Next, we've got this clip from a man in South Carolina who had a chilling experience one night in his yard. According to him, he was hearing strange noises coming from trees close to his property. Being the responsible individual that he is, he went to investigate, and that's when things took a rather interesting turn.
I hope you can hear this. It sounds like gorillas fighting in the tree. They're breaking limbs bigger around than me.
The things in the trees started breaking and hurling tree branches at him. Scared and puzzled, he ran inside to grab his camera, and when he returned, they were still at it. He believes they were fighting, but the sheer strength needed to snap those branches and throw them at him was something no ordinary human or creature could do.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
His conclusion was that he was definitely dealing with gorillas.
This is the second time I've come over here. And the first time, when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me. And I still cannot figure out what it is.
The sheer strength needed to snap those branches and throw them was beyond what most creatures could do, which led to his conclusion. Once he starts filming, though, the creatures end up obscured in the foliage, making it hard to speak on authority that those were indeed gorillas. The paranormal community doesn't think that they're gorillas at all. First of all, there are no gorillas in South Carolina. Secondly, while gorillas can climb trees, they prefer to stay closer to the ground because of their weight. Thirdly, you know what, scratch that. I could probably give you 1,000 reasons why they're not gorillas. So, if they're not gorillas, then what could they be?
Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down.
Well, the paranormal community thinks they might be Bigfoots that were arguing in the trees, so they didn't expect to be heard. And when the man heard them, they panicked and tried to scare him away so they were not discovered.
Oh, it's gotta be a... I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and it doing this. It's something stronger than a bear.
It's a long stretch, but it does sound logical to me in paranormal terms, of course. You guys have seen the clip as well, so what do you think?
About 8 to 10, maybe even 12 inches in diameter that he just broke because he's pissed because I'm getting close to him. I think I'm going to bounce because I think he just hit the ground, which means he's about to face me on foot. And I don't really want to wrestle with somebody that can tear trees down.
While you share your thoughts on that, take a look at this. Crazy, right? When I first saw this, I asked Aaron to tell me it was a movie scene, but he simply couldn't. This was allegedly recorded on a helicopter investigating a strange phenomenon in the sky. From the clip alone, we can agree that this is not normal. Sure, but, since it's not normal, what exactly are we dealing with? The answer: aliens. The paranormal community thinks that this might just be the proof that we need that aliens are actively doing things on this planet and the government is covering it up. This clip appears to show light or laser or whatever that is hitting the ground several times from a craft or being that's being hidden by the dark clouds. Before you state it's a weather phenomena, Aaron insists he did the research and found no weather phenomena that looked like this, which leaves only aliens in the picture. While I found this exciting and overwhelming, there was an itch I just couldn't stop scratching. This made me watch the clip over and over and over, and then I saw something. When you pay attention to the small screen of the pilot, you'll notice he's got a camera recording what's ahead of him. The strange thing, however, is aside from a few dark clouds in the sky, you don't see the apocalyptic scene we all just watched. This left me wondering if it was because the aliens could have been using tech that prevented cameras from recording. While that sounded interesting, I quickly had to banish it since there was a camera recording the main clip we all paid attention to. This left only one option: the clip has been doctored. Oh, that breaks my heart since we're out here allegedly, genuinely looking for real footage. Clips like this make the job difficult, but then again, maybe I'm seeing things that are not there. You guys took a look at the clip as well, so you tell me what you think. I'll be reading the comments. And just like that, we're back to Carolina, but this time we're heading north. This is an alleged Bigfoot capture from a Trailcam set up in the woods in North Carolina. Take a good look at it. Tell me how you feel about it. Does it scream legit, or does it leave you with more questions? Before you answer that, take a good look at the alleged Bigfoot itself. While we do see an ape-like creature with fur in the body to match, you and I would agree that this big guy looks more like an ape than he does a Bigfoot. At least the image of him we're used to imagining. Moving on, the creature appears to be hugging a tree as though it knew it was being filmed. If this is from a trail camera, well, that shouldn't be possible. Speaking of the trail cam, who puts a trail cam facing another tree just feet away? I mean, come on. If this does not scream questionable, then perhaps Julius is finally making a skeptic out of me. What say you guys? No, that's not art. Well, I suppose it could be, depending on your perspective, but this is actually what seawater looks like under a microscope. It's like a whole new world. The water comes alive with countless tiny organisms, including phytoplankton, which are plant-like microbes, and zooplankton, which are animal-like creatures. These form the foundation of the ocean's food web, supporting everything from small fish to massive whales. There are also geometric glass-like shapes likely representing diatoms. Oh, I won't bore you with the scientific stuff, as Julius did me. There's no conspiracy here, just a fascinating reminder of how much life thrives in spaces invisible to the naked eye. Just like these tiny creatures you can't see but know are there, who's to say cryptids like Bigfoot or other paranormal entities aren't looking out of sight too? Just think about it. Remember when we shared the clips about people's radios picking up strange frequencies that felt like someone was trying to communicate with them? Well, we've got another one, but this time it's through the television. This woman's time from behind her telly was suddenly interrupted by strange sounds coming from it. And when I say strange, I mean strange. Listen. Hear that? Once more, her television kept telling her that her streaming service was getting interrupted. She adds that she's had her service interrupted in the past, but it never sounded like this. This made her feel someone or something was trying to make contact with her through her television. Once she uploaded the clip, everyone shared the exact same sentiment, but you gotta wonder who or what is responsible. Many in the paranormal community have concluded it's aliens, and I do get where they're coming from, especially with all these crazy things happening around us. I saw some comments like this under the original post, and so I did, and when I did, it sounded something like this. It really does sound like someone's communicating, right? What could they be saying, and are they really talking to us? While a majority of the paranormal community believes they're talking to us, there are some who believe they're talking to themselves. Should we be worried? Are we blowing things out of proportion? Please share your thoughts on this.
Oh my God!
Speaking of strange phenomena, take a look at this. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you see it? Personally, I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but many in the paranormal community thought this was either the Star of Jacob or the Sirius Star. But not knowing what both of these were, I was gonna sit it out, but some felt it looked and felt alien. But then again, when you're not familiar with something, it's easy to attribute it to anything, even alien stuff. That's when one of the individuals in the paranormal community came and dispelled all thoughts and opinions. After taking a critical look at it, he believed it was a SpaceX launch. After cross-checking with information on the internet, it looks like he may be right. But then again, what do you guys think?
Oh my God!
A group of individuals inside a building noticed something truly unsettling on their cams. This is the same thing that you're seeing on your screen. If you pay attention, you should see it too. There's a dark, shadowy figure moving unnaturally in the clip. The mysterious mass appeared near the lower floors, gliding effortlessly around the windows. Its movement was unusually smooth and eerily fluid. Its form didn't resemble a human or any known creature, leaving onlookers both horrified and mystified. The figure's appearance and movement have led to numerous speculations. The most obvious and popular is that it's a paranormal entity like a shadow person or even a demonic presence. Can we prove any of these? No? But take a good look. What do you think?
Because I can freaking hear it.
Here it is. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm getting chills. I quit.
And it moves fast.
Wow.
It's been a while since we did this, but what better way to end our year than with a bonus clip and quiz, am I right? This creature was spotted deep in the wilderness, and it left the individual recorded flabbergasted. Now, if I didn't have Julius, I'd be you know what? Never mind that word. I would be confused too. Now, which of you knows what we're dealing with here? If you do, kindly leave a comment in the comments section with the name of the creature and something unique about its species. If you think it's not a known species and it's also something entirely new, please feel free to make your voice heard. May the best man or woman win.
I keep hearing like knocking at my door. I look out the window. There's nothing. See what I mean?
Moving on, a man shared a chilling experience after receiving a package from a friend who was deeply involved in spiritual practices. The package contained a large box with 5 eerie-looking dolls, each seemingly handcrafted from clay and resembling voodoo-like figures. Shortly after the package arrived, strange and unsettling events began to occur in his home. He started hearing persistent knocking on his door. Each time he checked outside, no one was there. The knocking continued relentlessly, even when he looked through the window and saw nothing. Things escalated when his dog began barking uncontrollably as if scenting something unforeseen. To uncover the source of the disturbances, the man set up a camera to monitor the dolls. However, the camera mysteriously toppled over. Given how securely it had been placed, he couldn't explain how it could have fallen on its own. These events led him to suspect that the dolls might carry some sort of energy or entity. Given how odd these things look, I won't be surprised if there's something weird going on. What do you think he should do with them, though?
I keep hearing like knocking at my door. I look out the window. There's nothing. See what I mean?
Speaking of strange occurrences, have you ever wondered what the devil looks like? No? Well, take a look at this clip coming from Mexico.
¡No mames, güey! ¡Dios mío, güey! ¿Qué es esto, güey? ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¿Qué trae cuernos, güey? ¡Es Lucifer, güey! ¡Es el diablo! ¡Ah, cabrona!
According to the one who uploaded it, the townspeople heard someone screaming and rushed to the location. Once they got there, this was what they were met with. Just by seeing its appearance, they concluded that they had seen the devil. Naturally, they started shouting and screaming. Some started addressing it as the devil and even started to rebuke it. Intrigued by the whole experience, they uploaded it online to share what had happened to them. While we do love the paranormal and everything in it, seeing this just didn't click. It felt more like we were dealing with a man in a costume than a paranormal entity. Maybe that's just me. Well, you've seen the clip, so you tell me what you think.
¡No mames, güey! ¡Dios mío, güey! ¿Qué es esto, güey? ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¿Qué trae cuernos, güey? ¡Es Lucifer, güey! ¡Es el diablo! ¡Ah, cabrona!
In different parts of the world, beliefs, rituals, and taboos often carry an air of mystery for outsiders. Now take a moment to check out this intriguing footage. A man is seen standing at a doorway, his back turned to the camera. However, as the camera pans upwards, it becomes apparent that he has no head. Moments later, a woman approaches him from inside the room carrying a large bowl of an unknown substance. She begins to apply it to his chest and downward in deliberate strokes, all while letting out eerie wailing sounds. In some Asian cultures, there are tales of headless people who return home. These headless beings are deceased individuals who come back to their homes primarily to seek closure before moving on to the next world. Since we have no context for this footage, we aren't sure if it depicts a similar situation. What do you think is happening here? This image was taken on December the 13th during a family gathering in the yard one night. One person was responsible for taking photos and had snapped a couple throughout the evening. After dinner, the family sat down to review the pictures, and that's when they noticed something strange. In one of the photographs, there appeared to be extra guests that no one had seen or noticed during the gathering. The figures resembled 2 or 3 people standing faintly in the background. What's even more unsettling is that they appear to only have one picture, not in others taken moments before and after. The family was shocked and scared by this discovery. Some wondered if these figures could be the spirits of past family members watching over them, or perhaps something else entirely. Not sure what to think of this one, but some attribute the whole thing to pareidolia. Anyway, your thoughts are welcome on this. Just in case you were wondering what's happening here, well, don't. I'll shed some light in a jiffy. It's Florida man, and he strikes again in the heart of New York City. And yes, just for clarity's sake, that's a man throwing furniture off the top of a building. We're not sure why, but according to his brother, he'd been acting delusional and paranoid days prior to this incident. While this was a cause for concern, he didn't expect things to escalate to this point. Mental health is a serious thing many of us take for granted. Luckily, no serious injuries were recorded. If you live in a busy place like New York City, statistically you're bound to run into situations and people like this once in a while. One thing you'll want to do is always walk around carefully, and don't forget to look up because, well, they apparently love to throw furniture from tall buildings. I wanted to attribute behavior like this to paranormal entities, but there's nothing to tie it in here. Take care of your mental health, okay? The last thing we want is for you to end up in a situation like this. Moving on from that, we've got this footage that comes from a deep-sea dive in the Maldives, capturing a heart-stopping moment. A man was diving when a tiger shark suddenly swam toward him, mistaking the diver's shiny regulator for a fish. The shark bit down on the regulator, holding onto it for a moment. Fortunately, after shaking it briefly, the shark let go and swam off. The diver remained unharmed, but it was undeniably a terrifying encounter. This man was incredibly lucky to escape unscathed, considering how powerful and unpredicting tiger sharks can be. Still, considering adding diving to your bucket list next year? I'm certainly not. So this clip is allegedly from NASA's live stream. Do you notice anything weird? Anything at all? This was supposed to be a clip from the International Space Station, yet there seems to be some sort of spacecraft flying by it. To put it in perspective, that's not normal. It shouldn't be happening, yet it is. The only explanation for this would be a UFO or spacecraft, both of which will point to aliens and extraterrestrials. But NASA would have told us if something like that was out there, right? Well, many don't think so. Some individuals don't even think the clip is real. They believe this is underwater with divers and a light. They think the rest of what we see from the supposed space station is just filters and effects from a clip being recorded in a pool. You've seen these clips with your own 2 eyes, so what do you think? I know the clip is blurry, but stick with me. If you look at the clip carefully, you'll see an ape-like being in it, or rather several ape-like beings. The story behind the footage is that the government hired a special ops team to track and film a family of Bigfoot. I have no doubt that the government might be involved in some shady or even paranormal activities that they don't want anyone knowing, but this? Oh, the story has red flags all around it. I mean, I don't doubt the government could send a special ops team in search of Bigfoot, but I doubt a special ops team with emphasis on special will record clips as blurry as this. Also, special ops teams are professional. I doubt they'll be uploading their clips on YouTube or leaving traces of it around. Funnily enough, I was not the only one with these sentiments. Different members of the paranormal community felt the same. Take a look at some of these comments. Of all the comments, this took me out. Despite the skepticism, there were some who still believed this was true and genuine. With these many believing this clip is genuine, I've got to ask, what do you guys also think? Perhaps I may have been infected by Julius's skepticism. A man claimed to have spotted something unusual floating in the sky while he was out walking. Startled by what he saw, he quickly pulled out his gun and began firing at it, determined to bring it down. The footage shows him shooting repeatedly, but despite his efforts, the object didn't seem to react or show any signs of being hit. It hovered steadily in the sky, almost as if it was taunting him. The video ends before we see whether he managed to land the shot or if the mysterious object disappeared altogether. While this might be a serious matter for the one recording, many individuals found it funny. Despite the teasing, some did think he got very close. So what do you think? Did he get it, or at least land a few shots? Could it have been a drone or a UFO, or was this simply an overreaction to something entirely explainable? Let's hear your thoughts. Some countries seem to be living in the future, and here's why. In Japan, there's a remarkable invention that allows people to light up to 10 bulbs within just 20 seconds, all by taking a single step. Yeah, you heard that right. This groundbreaking technology is called piezoelectricity. The concept is simple yet revolutionary. Specialized tiles have been installed across parts of Tokyo, particularly in high-traffic areas. These tiles harness the energy from people walking on them, converting the pressure from footsteps into usable electricity. As you can imagine, Tokyo is a bustling city with millions of people constantly on the move. The amount of power generated by this steady stream of activity is substantial. This ingenious system also hints at a greener, more efficient future. Imagine a world where every step we take contributes to powering. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Now on to something not so exciting. In 2025, there are predictions of a significant solar storm. This event is linked to the solar maximum, a phase the sun experiences approximately every 11 years. During this time, the sun emits massive amounts of solar flares and radiation. The last major event of this kind occurred in 1859 and is famously known as the Carrington Event. The Carrington Event caused widespread disruptions, including damage to telegraph systems and auroras visible far from the poles. If such an event would occur today, it could have far-reaching consequences given our reliance on technology. Power grids might fail, the internet could be disrupted, and satellites, which are essential for communication and navigation, could be affected. However, there's no need to panic. Experts emphasize that such an event does not pose a direct threat to human life. The effects would primarily be technological, and with proper preparation, the impact can be mitigated. This intriguing footage comes from El Salvador, showing a helicopter releasing thick white fumes over a town. As the helicopter sprays, you can see people on the ground running to avoid it. However, this is not a cause for alarm. The spraying is part of a fumigation effort aimed at controlling mosquito populations in the area. At least, that's what we are told. Mosquito fumigation is a common practice in regions prone to diseases like dengue fever and malaria, where reducing mosquito numbers is critical for public health. While the footage may seem dramatic, it highlights the measures some countries take to combat health challenges posed by these tiny but dangerous pests. Speaking of dramatic, if you thought that was dramatic, then it's definitely because you haven't seen this bit of clip. Take a look.
Hopefully we didn't like part 2. What is
Who is
that?
that?
Michelle,
What?
Go.
Go. What the hell? It's right there.
It's literally yelling.
Come inside. Over here. Jesus. Who is that?
This footage was recorded by a group of friends exploring an abandoned place ominously known as the Undead Village. They were filming their adventure when, out of nowhere, the man you see on your screen charged toward them. He chased them for quite some time until they managed to take cover in an abandoned area. This clip cuts off shortly after, but the assumption is that they got out safely. While I appreciate the thrill of exploring area locations, it's always a good idea to carry some safety gear. That said, not everyone's convinced this is real. Some viewers think the whole scene might have been staged for views. So what's your take? Do you believe this was an authentic encounter, or do you think it was all just a clever setup? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Come on. Yo.
Keep going. Go.
Yo.
What would you do if you walked into a scene like this? Yes, that's a street filled with people in that uncomfortable pose. According to the uploader of the clip, they were in that state for hours. This led some to believe they needed medical or mental health attention. Others also felt it was some sort of display. There were a few in the paranormal community who felt this was nothing but a glitch in the Matrix. Taking a second look at this, I get where they're coming from. But what's your theory? In 2019, a groundbreaking medical achievement took place in South Africa led by pastor and professor Mashudu Shifularo. Professor Shifularo successfully cured deafness in a 35-year-old patient using pioneering technology. Employing 3D printing, he recreated the intricate structures of the inner ear. By precisely replicating and replacing the damaged parts, he restored the patient's hearing, marking a world first in medical history. Professor Shifularo's work not only brought attention to the possibilities of modern medical innovation, but also underscored the immense value of integrating advanced technology in healthcare. This footage, captured by a trail camera, presents an intriguing sight. The video begins innocuously, showing deer standing and grazing peacefully. However, the seemingly tranquil scene takes a mysterious turn as something unusual appears in the background. There, amidst the trees, a large dark figure can be seen moving. Its gait is distinctly bipedal, walking on two legs. The figure's outline suggests a broad muscular build, and the edges of its form reveal what looks like a thick hairy covering. Could this be a sighting of the legendary Bigfoot? The size, posture, and movement of the figure certainly align with descriptions from countless reports over the years. What do you think? This clip comes all the way from Guatemala. Pay attention. Do you see it? Sure, there's a white mist or cloud-like entity or being moving in the clip, but did you notice its form before it became a mist? If you didn't, allow me to point out the obvious. It had a humanoid form. But how do we go from a humanoid form to a misty and cloudy form? The answer is simple. It's a shapeshifter. I know this sounds like a long stretch, but how else do we explain what we're seeing? This was meant to be a rhetorical question, but Julius answered anyway. Guess what he said? It's CGI and fake, but then again, it's Julius. He says these things all the time. Anyway, let me know in the comments section what you guys also think. Here are two fascinating clips showcasing a rare and peculiar bird found in the woods. This unique creature has a long beak, no visible wings, and is covered in soft fur-like feathers. It moves on 2 feet, and as you watch the footage, you'll notice its curious manner of running. It dashes off like a person sneaking away after being caught stealing. This unusual and fascinating bird is called a kiwi, native to New Zealand. Its quirky appearance and behavior make it one of the most distinct birds in the world. Kiwis are flightless and nocturnal, relying on their keen sense of smell and their long beaks to forage for food in the ground. What makes this clip interesting? Well, these birds are endangered and hadn't been seen where this clip was recorded in a long time. Think of it as a rare find, and think of this clip as advocacy for their preservation. Nothing paranormal here, but let's do our best to preserve our planet because it's the only one we got until NASA discovers another one, of course. A man at sea captured footage of an extraordinary sight, a massive fish swimming around his boat. What makes this encounter truly bizarre was the fish's behavior in the water. As it swam close, it opened its enormous mouth, and inside there appeared to be a reflection of orange flames, almost as if it was breathing fire. A fire-breathing fish? Well, that's certainly a new one on me, but is it real or fake? While the sight is undeniably fascinating, it's crucial to approach such footage with a healthy dose of skepticism. Reflections, water distortion, or even digital effects can create illusions that seem otherworldly. Alternatively, the glowing effect could be due to bioluminescent bacteria, or perhaps it's just a clever hoax. Without more context or scientific analysis, it's hard to say definitively. If real, it would certainly redefine our understanding of marine life. Would you not agree? Still on strange sightings, take a look at this clip from the MacLeod YouTube channel as far back as 2009. It was supposed to be a night like any other, with the family hanging out listening to music. This profound moment was interrupted by a creature seemingly out of nowhere. It definitely looks paranormal, but the low-quality footage makes it difficult to determine which of the known entities it fits into. You've seen the clip. Where would you put this creature? Also, what would you have been the reaction of seeing something like this behind you? Airplane crashes are some of the most devastating incidents, often leaving passengers with little to no chance of survival. In response to this, engineers are exploring the concept of a detachable cabin, a revolutionary design that could change the way we approach flight safety. This cabin would function as an independent module that could be ejected from the main aircraft during emergencies. Equipped with mechanisms like parachutes for land landings and flotation devices for water landings, it aims to safely bring passengers to the ground or sea. While the idea is still in its conceptual stage and has not been fully realized, it holds immense potential for saving lives. However, it also raises many questions. How would the detachment process work in real-time emergencies? Could the mechanism function reliably under all conditions, such as high altitudes, turbulence, or extreme weather? Additionally, the cost of implementing such technology and its impact on the weight and aerodynamics of planes are critical factors to consider. If successfully developed, this technology could redefine aviation safety and provide a level of reassurance to passengers. While it's still a long way from becoming a reality, it's exciting to see innovative ideas being explored to address one of aviation's biggest challenges. What do you think? Could this be the future of safer air travel? This clip comes from the aftermath of Hurricane Helena, which hit southeastern United States in late September 2024. A woman who lived in one of the areas affected decided to take a walk in her neighborhood. This is when she noticed the foul stench coming from some of the debris. She gets closer to the area that seems to smell like something's rotting. That's when she sees what looks like a memorial with flowers on it. That's heartbreaking, but definitely not strange. That's not to say nothing strange happened, because some seconds in, a voice comes from the rubble. She misses it and is driven away from the place by the smell. In fact, she vomits. Playing the clip back later, the voice is noticed. This leaves us with questions, lots of questions. Whose voice was that? Was it from the makeshift grave? Did it come from a man seeking help, not knowing he'd already died? Bizarre, I know, but with the numerous reports of death in the area, it shouldn't be too surprising, should it? I'm no expert, but this new tech from the GAC Group, a leading Chinese automaker, sounds exciting. The automaker has ventured into the skies with its new brand, Govee, dedicated to electrical vertical takeoffs and landing eVTOL aircraft. Their flagship model, the Airjet, is a cutting-edge air taxi designed to revolutionize urban and inner-city transportation. With a range of up to 124 miles and a top speed of 155 mph, the Airjet offers a glimpse into the future of sustainable mobility. What sets it apart is its vertical takeoff and landing capabilities, which eliminate the need for traditional runways, making it ideal for crowded cities. The Airjet is over 90% carbon fiber, making it lightweight and highly efficient. Its sleek luxury cabin promises a premium passenger experience, while autonomous flight capabilities aim to redefine safety and convenience in air travel. This innovation not only demonstrates GAC Group's forward-thinking approach to sustainability, but also highlights the rapid strides in electrical aviation technology. Govee's entry into the eVTOL market signals an exciting new chapter in how we move through the skies and interact with our cities. Is this something you look forward to trying? Let us know in the comments section.
That's Sasquatch, guys. The big fella. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Yes, more Bigfoot footage. We can never get enough Bigfoot footage. This clip, however, rubs me the wrong way. Like it's not authentic. I ran it by some members of the team, and despite attempting it to be convincing with the gait, fur, and body features, many of my team members think it's just a guy in a suit. In fact, comments under the original post say the same thing. You've seen the clip, so what's your opinions?
That's Sasquatch, guys. The big fella.
A woman walked up to her sink to wash her hands, and what she encountered was simply startling. There, nestled in the sink, was an animal with its eyes peeking out. At first glance, it looked like it could be a snake or a frog. Given that sinks are connected to sewers where all sorts of creatures lurk, this mysterious visitor could be anything. Imagine the surprise and unease of finding an unexpected guest emerging from the plumbing. The sewers are home to a wide array of animals, from frogs to snakes and even rats. Our plumbing is usually engineered in a way to prevent these things from making their way to the pipes, but there are times when we are surprised, like Our Lady in the clip. What do you think that what she encountered could be? A harmless frog seeking refuge, or something more sinister lurking in the depths of the sewer system? Share your thoughts and theories. At Logan Canyon in Utah, some people captured footage of what they believed might be a Bigfoot. The creature appeared dark, probably due to its fur, and was both huge and muscular. To validate their claim, they made another recording from the same distance and location, this time featuring a 6-foot-tall man weighing about 220 pounds. When comparing both footage, it was evident that the creature was significantly larger and taller than the man. The footage has stirred quite a bit of excitement among Bigfoot enthusiasts and researchers. The creature's massive build and the fluidity of its movements seem to surpass what one might expect from a person in a costume. Moreover, the environment of Logan Canyon with its dense forests and remote areas is often cited as ideal Bigfoot territory. It's quite fascinating to see how close we might be to uncovering the existence of these elusive creatures. The debate about Bigfoot's existence has been ongoing for decades, and footage like this adds fuel to the fire. Skeptics, however, might argue it's a hoax or a misidentification, while believers see it as more evidence of Bigfoot's reality. What are your thoughts on the footage, Bigfoot or not?
Conyers, and they just sent out a alert for us to shelter in place and close all your windows because this is a chemical fire. So look at those clouds.
This video was taken by a woman driving through Conyers, Georgia, where thick, ominous fumes were billowing into the air from a nearby biolab. The lab had caught fire, and the fumes being released were toxic. Emergency alerts were sent out on September the 29th, urging residents to close their windows and stay indoors to avoid exposure. Just take a look at the density of the smoke. It looks like something out of a disaster film, but this is very real. The fact that it's coming from a biolab raises even more concern. What kind of materials were inside, and how dangerous are these fumes? It's hard not to wonder how this happened and what kind of long-term effects might it have on the environment and the health of the community. Anyone who knows more about this should let us know in the comments section.
Conyers, and they just sent out a alert for us to shelter in place and close all your windows because this is a chemical fire. So look at those clouds.
While you figure that out, you might want to take a look at this ginormous beauty of a specimen.
Oh my god. Oh gee. Oh, a big kangaroo in front of me. I'm scared.
I'm not a zoologist, but that's definitely not normal. The individual who uploaded the clip stated that it was definitely reaching up to 9 feet in height. While that's impressive, I was definitely distracted by those strong-looking muscles. After admiring it for a few seconds and feeling sorry for myself, wait, scratch that, you didn't hear that. Back to my research. I discovered that kangaroo sizes vary by species. The largest, the red kangaroo, can reach up to 6 feet in height with a tail length of about 3.3 feet, and males weigh between 121 to 198 pounds, while females are smaller at around 3.6 feet and 40 to 88 pounds. Eastern gray kangaroos grow up to 5 to 6 feet tall for males, weighing 110 to 145 pounds, while females are typically 4 to 4.6 feet tall and weigh 37 to 88 pounds. Western gray kangaroos are slightly smaller, with males reaching 4.3 to 5.3 feet and weighing 62 to 119 pounds, while females weigh 35 to 82 pounds. While that's a lot of kangaroo information, you can clearly tell that this big guy doesn't fit any of the dimensions stated here. So what do you think we're dealing with?
Oh my god. Oh gee. Oh, a big kangaroo in front of me. I'm scared.
Back in 2018 in the UK, someone captured footage of strange pinkish orbs floating in the night sky. These mysterious lights drifted away, leaving onlookers baffled and intrigued. Then in 2021, the same glowing orbs were seen again, this time in Spain, prompting even more speculation. These orbs can't be fireflies, as they're much larger and higher up in the sky. Witnesses described them as eerily beautiful and otherworldly. I know that sounds conflicting, but that's the same vibe I get watching them. The reappearance of these orbs in different locations years apart raises many questions. There's some form of advanced technology, natural phenomenon we don't yet understand, or perhaps something even more extraordinary. I have my thoughts, but share yours on the subject. Can someone explain to me what in the aquatic world could be going on here? A pet fish owner went to drain the water out of the fish tank while the fish was inside. As he opened the valve for the water to drain out, something bizarre happened. The water started going down, but the fish remained at the top of the tank swimming in the air. When I saw this, it looked very trippy. I mean, this is not possible. It's as if the fish is defying the laws of physics. Could this be some kind of optical illusion or trick? Maybe there's an invisible layer of water that's keeping the fish suspended, but that doesn't make any sense either. Or could it be some clever video editing trick that's making it look like the fish is floating in midair? Whatever the explanation, it's definitely one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. This was the original thing I wrote until Julius came out of nowhere, looked at the clip, laughed, and said double tank. If anyone understands what's going on or what he said, please explain in the comments section. A lot of people overlook just how incredible and powerful water can be. I mean, I'm talking about the natural wonders like rivers, oceans, lakes, you name it. Take a look at this beautiful yet terrifying sight. It was captured at a beach where a man spotted something incredible happening out in the ocean. It's a tunnel of water stretching from the sea all the way up into the sky. At the top, there's this ring of clouds that looks almost like a donut, and right in the center of it is where the column of water is coming down from, connecting right back into the ocean. It's mesmerizing, but also a reminder that nature can be terrifying, especially water. It's as if the ocean itself is reaching up to the heavens, and the sheer force of that spout just shows how powerful and unpredictable water can be. Water might seem calm on the surface sometimes, but can equally be terrifying. What do you think of this phenomenon, and have you seen one before? Stepping away from earthly things, take a look at these clouds.
Look, bro, this look like a woman, bro. Look, this look like a whole picture. Bro, come here, look at my phone.
What do you see? Tell me you see them too. The clouds somehow look like a picture involving multiple individuals. I'm pretty sure that's not normal. The individual recording is even shocked himself, and I can't blame him. Once he uploaded the clip, all sorts of theories came from different angles and directions, with some stating it had to be the government's blue beam technology. Others felt it was a sign from God, whereas a small sect believe it was a sign we're living in the Matrix. A very small group held on to Julius's beliefs. The whole thing was fake, and it was meant to deceive the masses. Now we can say with certainty which of these it is, but if it was indeed an attempt to mislead the masses, then certainly whoever planned it has succeeded, because more than 60 to 70% of the paranormal community believe this is real. What about you?
Look, bro, this look like a woman, bro. Look, this look like a whole picture. Bro, come here, look at my phone.
If you thought that was bizarre, then nothing can prepare you for what's coming. Take a look. Yes, I know that's eerie looking, but that's actually a delicacy enjoyed by many Indonesians. I was worried and thought that this could lead to some disease or worse, death. I decided to do some research, and you wouldn't believe what I saw. No, people aren't turning into aliens, and neither are they going to become zombies by eating this. What you're seeing on your screen is called Tembeluk, scientifically known as Bactinophorus thoracites. Tembeluk is a unique wood-boring mollusk often found in the brackish waters of Indonesia. Despite its worm-like appearance, Tembeluk is actually a type of mollusk that inhabits and feeds on rotten wood or tree trunks submerged in water. This creature has a significant ecological role, but it's also infamous for being a pest to wooden structures like boats and piers. Locally, Timberlook is valued not just for its ecological role, but also as a traditional food source. It's often consumed raw or cooked in various dishes, offering a unique, chewy texture and a flavor reminiscent of clams. Nutritionally, Timberlook is a powerhouse, packed with proteins, essential amino acids, omega-3 fatty acids, and various vitamins and minerals. These nutritional benefits contribute to its reputation as a health-boosting food, traditionally believed to aid in conditions like depression, heart health, and even as a remedy for malaria in Papua. It's also thought to boost stamina and serve as a natural dietary supplement. So while it might not look like it, it turns out that this is actually really good for you. One question remains, though. Would you eat it? The beauty of nature in its diversity, and the good news is that humans have the diversity too. I mean, we're part of nature, so we can't really dispute that. This is manifested in humans, with some having unique or unusual body parts. Look at this man. He has a bald head, and he pulls all the skin on his head from both sides into the center, creating a vertical line of raised skin. This isn't a magic trick or an illusion. This man has a rare condition called cutis verticis gyrata. Cutis verticis gyrata causes the skin on the scalp to form folds and furrows resembling the ridges of the brain. It's a fascinating yet uncommon condition, and seeing it in action is quite striking. This condition can be congenital or acquired, and while it doesn't usually cause pain, it can lead to hygiene issues if not properly managed. Despite its unusual appearance, cutis verticis gyrata is just another reminder of the incredible diversity of the human body. Fascinating, don't you agree?
No, güey, ni de pedo. Está gigantesca esa madre, güey.
Here's another bizarre footage from Mexico, captured during a stormy night when the skies were alive with thunder and lightning. A man, caught up in the intensity of the storm, began filming to capture the dramatic scene. But as he aimed his camera upward, he noticed something that had him questioning reality itself. Amidst the chaotic flashes of lightning, he caught sight of an object that appeared to be like the shape of a car. Yeah, you heard that right, a car, just floating up there in the darkened sky. It wasn't just an illusion or a passing shadow. The shape was distinct, outlined clearly with each flash of lightning. Is this some new form of camouflaged UFO, or just a bizarre atmospheric illusion?
No, güey, ni de pedo. Está gigantesca esa madre, güey.
A woman woke up in the middle of the night and glanced outside her window only to spot a deer peacefully nibbling on the grass in her front yard. Captivated by the serene scene, she decided to capture a picture of the unexpected visitor. It was only after she looked at the live shot on her screen that she noticed something unsettling. There, reflected in the glass, were not just the deer in the night scene outside, but two strange bald heads looking directly at her. Startled, she checked the house to see if anyone else had been awake, but everyone insisted they were asleep all night. So if her family were all accounted for, who or what were those faces? Were they intruders, spirits, or something else entirely? Have you heard about this? San Francisco has opened its first $5.5 million free food market. This innovative facility allows eligible residents to use a benefits card to select items, check out to track inventory, and leave without paying. Located in Bayview Hunters Point, this market aims to provide a dignified alternative to traditional food pantries by replicating the supermarket experience. In an area where many grocery stores have struggled to remain open due to high crime rates, this free food market is a game changer. It ensures that residents have access to fresh, healthy food in a setting that respects their autonomy and dignity. The facility is designed to meet the community's needs while maintaining an organized and efficient system for inventory tracking. This initiative not only addresses food insecurity, but also fosters a sense of normalcy and respect for those in need. It represents a forward-thinking approach to community support and could serve as a model for other cities facing similar challenges. What are your thoughts on this innovative approach to combating food insecurity? Do you think it's great, or do you think that there could be a better approach? Let us know in the comments section. I believe this creature right here is the closest we can get to a real-life fairy tale. It's a mesmerizing pink being that looks strikingly like a delicate flower. Someone stumbled upon it and, enchanted by its floral appearance, picked it up only to discover they were holding a living insect. The creature is so magical and otherworldly you'd think it was fake, but it's very much real. This enchanting marvel is called the orchid mantis. With its petal-like limbs and vibrant coloration, it perfectly mimics an orchid blossom, making it both a master of disguise and a wonder of nature. Its ethereal beauty and almost fantastical appearance make it a true marvel, bridging the gap between the mythical and the real. Such a beauty.
Look at that. 9/27/24.
Still on Bizarre Captures, we travel back in time to the 27th of September of this year when a man captured a video of something truly unusual in the sky. In the clip, you can see a bright circular pattern glowing in the sky. According to the man who filmed it, the strange otherworldly sight resembled some kind of portal. Many in the community shared this perspective and started to debate what could have come or gone through it. While everyone shared their thoughts with excitement, Julius showed up claiming that what we were seeing was nothing more than a sundog. If this is your first time hearing the term, as it was mine when he mentioned it, it's a common atmospheric phenomenon caused by sunlight interacting with ice crystals in the atmosphere. Sundogs typically create bright spots or halos near the sun, which could explain the shape. While this sounds logical and scientific, you must still agree with me that the whole thing just looks otherworldly. Could there be more to this than science has discovered?
Look at that. 9/27/24.
We start today's episode in a theater, and it's not all what you were thinking. Well, if you're thinking something spooky happened, well, then you're right.
There's the ghost light. It's a light we keep on for ghosts, for people who still remain here and whatnot. And, what the What is that?
So the young man you see on your screen was in the theater when he started hearing strange noises. Usually, this is normal in a theater, but not when it's closed and you're supposed to be alone. After enduring the sound for a bit, he decided to step out and investigate. He decided to film the investigation just in case he caught someone breaking in. He explores the theater, shows us the ghost light meant to fish out people who stay after the theater had closed. As he pans the camera, he notices something, but it's not exactly clear. He gets closer to take a better look, and then he sees it. It's some sort of puppet, and it's staring down at him. At least, that's what I thought I saw. Naturally, he freaks out and eventually uploads it onto the internet. While going through the comments of the original post, I realized some said they saw a woman, whereas others saw a kid or a teenager. You guys have seen the clip. What do you also see? But more importantly, do you think this is legit, or do you think he's trying to get his 5 minutes of fame? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section. There's a reptilian race believed to be living amongst us in plain sight. They're believed to have made their way to Earth and disguised themselves as humans. Despite their convincing disguise and ability to look like us, they fail to mimic us completely and have strange body parts that give them away. Take a look at these girls in the clips. These girls look normal until they pull out their tongues, and look at that. They have extremely long tongues that could touch their chests without them bending their necks, and yet their tongues fit right back inside their mouths. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get it. After their clips went viral, people started to believe that they might not be human, while others said they were reptilians. I mean, I want to call them reptilian people, even though there's not enough information to go on. While I love me some good conspiracies, I can't help but feel my love for conspiracies might be making me biased. What do you guys think, though? Could we really be dealing with an alien situation, or are these girls just normal humans born with extremely long tongues? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Believe me when I say this next one is a strange one. So now that you guys have seen it, what do you think we're dealing with? The one who uploaded the clip found it in his water butt, and no, it's not what you're thinking. A water butt is a large container for collecting or storing a liquid such as rainwater. As we can see, the creature is tiny, transparent, and jelly-like that looks like it has an elephant trunk. I tried to find out what it could be, but there was no clue whatsoever. Perhaps you guys can help. I'll be reading the comments. These days, discoveries are popping up that make you rethink everything you learned in school. Could some of our history really be wrong? Take this footage for example. A passenger on a flight over the Gulf of Mexico noticed something strange down in the water. At first, it was just a subtle shape barely visible through the waves, but as they kept looking, the shape became clearer, remarkably like a pyramid. Yeah, you heard that right. A pyramid beneath the Gulf of Mexico. Well, that doesn't add up now, does it? But then again, we can't assume we know everything about our past, as we're discovering new things every day. Could this really be a pyramid? If it is, a discovery like this could rewrite pieces of our history. There's a possibility of it being an ancient civilization we never knew existed. What do you think the story behind this could be? Let me hear your thoughts. We've seen countless examples of ancient caves and hidden structures that blend seamlessly into the natural landscape, almost invisible until someone points them out. But take a look at this. Here we see a man approaching the base of a mountain, and out of nowhere he opens a door that leads into a cave inside the mountain itself. Look at how well that door fits into the rock. It's hard to believe, but it does raise questions. What are these structures for? Some believe they date back to World War II, built as bunkers or secret facilities. But could all of them really come from that period, or might they be part of something even older? Ancient hideouts, military facilities, or maybe something else entirely. Still on strange fruits, take a look at this next clip for instance. Yes, that's a banana on the table with tentacles flailing in the air. I mean, look at it. It looks so convincingly real. While they are indeed very strange and questionable things that happen all the time, let's not forget that technology and AI are also constantly growing, making it easier to fake a lot of things. Julius, our in-house science whiz, is convinced that this is obviously CGI. I want to dispute the fact, but it's an undeniable fact that computer-generated images these days can be so real. They are so real that they blur the lines between reality and fiction. Now, what do you guys think? CGI or real? Let us know your thoughts and reason in the comments section. A clip from 1980 shows someone handling an iPhone. Yes, you heard that right, in 1980. Take a look at the bizarre footage. A journalist returned to Hiroshima to document the aftermath of the 1945 bombing. One of the strangest things he found was what appeared to be a smartphone, specifically an iPhone 13. The chilling part is that the iPhone 13 wasn't released until 2021. How did this man get a hold of such advanced technology decades earlier? In the footage, you can see the man holding the device and trying to look at his reflection, seemingly unaware that it was a phone. How is this possible? Could someone explain what's going on here? Did someone time travel, or was this technology available long before we thought it was? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. While you try to decode that, you might want to take a good look at this one. A man was exploring the great outdoors when he came across what's on your screen. Not sure what he was looking at, he was stunned and stopped in his tracks. As he tried to make out what it was, it suddenly yanked or suddenly moved one direction and disappeared out of view. If he didn't plan this, and it's no hoax, then he was definitely going to be startled. Well, he swears it's real, so let's go with that. He uploaded it on the Paranormal platform seeking answers, but all he got is a lot of doubt and questions. Do you think it's real? If it is, what are we dealing with here? If it's not, how do you think they pulled it off? What you're looking at here is a 30-million-year-old praying mantis perfectly preserved in a piece of amber. This incredible fossil was discovered in the Dominican Republic and has been remarkably well preserved over all those millions of years, allowing us a rare glimpse into a distant past. The amber has essentially frozen this ancient mantis in time, capturing it in such stunning detail. You can still see its delicate body, limbs, and even some of its fine features. It's fascinating to think that this creature lived long before humans ever walked the earth and is now immortalized in amber for us to study and admire. Nature has its own way of preserving its history, and this is just one breathtaking example. While exploring the mysterious depths of the ocean, someone scooped up some truly bizarre creatures. At first glance, they resemble tiny starfish, but their distinctive features quickly set them apart. Their tentacles are thin and vivid red, giving them a striking appearance that looks more like flattened spiders with 5 legs. While you might be tempted to conclude they're alien, these fascinating beings are known as brittle stars. Unlike their more robust starfish cousins, brittle stars are delicate and almost ethereal. Their limbs twist and turn with an eerie fluidity, adding to their otherworldly charm. Brittle stars are a captivating reminder of the ocean's endless mysteries and the incredible diversity of life it harbors. This next footage was sent in by a subscriber. They captured a strange creature flying close to the camera, and they believed it could be a fairy. The creature flew by pretty fast, and when you zoom in, it does seem to have long legs, but that's about all you can make out. It's hard to say for sure what it is. Some might argue it's just a wasp or another type of insect, given the blurry quality and fast movement. But then again, who knows what mysterious creature might be out there that we haven't yet discovered? What do you think? Is this just a common insect, or could it really be a fairy? A couple went hiking up Klingman Dome while making their way along a woodland path when they noticed something unsettling. It was a creature standing in the trees watching them. Despite feeling uneasy, they decided to keep moving. But the creature did not stay hidden. It seemed to follow them from a distance, silently trailing them through the woods. And then finally it stepped out from behind the trees, revealing itself fully. That's when the couple snapped this photo. What they captured was astonishing. It was an 8-foot-tall figure that looked unmistakably like Bigfoot. They were in complete shock, frozen in disbelief by the sight of the massive creature. They later shared this to the paranormal platforms they were a part of, stating they might have encountered Bigfoot. What do you guys think? In this clip, an anonymous man shared a very curious sighting online. He managed to capture something strange in the sky. It was an object with a bizarre shape. According to him, the object was roughly the size of a car, but he couldn't quite figure out what it was. The footage shows this unidentified object hovering in the sky, almost as if he doesn't belong there. And people are buzzing about it, with many speculating that it could be a UFO. What say you? I have seen animals do strange things, but this next clip is just on another level. A cow chewing on wires from a transformer? Well, that's a new one. We often hear about goats eating just about anything, but a cow? This is truly strange. Despite all the grass going around it, this cow chose to munch on a bunch of plastic and copper wires instead. It's a perplexing sight to say the least. By the look of things, it seems there's no power running through those wires, otherwise this cow would have long been a barbecue. That doesn't change the fact that it's a bizarre and somewhat alarming scene. What do you think could have driven this cow to chew on wires instead of the abundant grass? Is it just a peculiar behavior, or could there be something more to it? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Would really love to hear your take on this unusual event. Brazil is no exception to the strange phenomena that has been appearing in our skies all over the globe. Take a look at this clip that was sent in recently. The clip shows a glowing object that resembles an arch with a bright orb at the center that blinks with light. The entire structure glows, looking entirely unnatural in the sky. Members of the paranormal community where this was shared are torn on what this object could be. Some believe it's a drone, while others suggest it's an angel, as described in the Bible and ancient texts. Others think it might be a demon rather than an angel. However, skeptics argue that this is simply a hologram projection. What do you make of this mysterious sighting? Could it be a supernatural being, an advanced piece of technology, or just an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts. Here's another strange phenomenon that has left people scratching their heads. Late at night, a couple noticed something unusual in the sky over their neighborhood. Tiny glowing particles were swirling in circles over one particular house. Unlike the usual suspects like birds or bugs or even airborne debris, these weren't ordinary objects. Witnesses described them as glowing tiny entities moving in an almost organized pattern. Some have suggested these entities resemble small radiant creatures rather than mere particles or insects. But what's your take? A man was exploring a cave when he stumbled upon something strange that left him, and now us, with more questions than answers. He didn't reveal the exact location of the cave, but he claimed he was alone. As he ventured further in, he spotted a mysterious figure at the entrance of a hole within the cave structure. It appeared humanoid in shape, about 3 feet tall, with a dark body and a head that seemed to be faintly glowing. Even when he zoomed in, he couldn't make out much more detail as the figure remained eerily still, almost as if watching him. Once he uploaded this clip online, many thought it had to be an alien living in a cave. Others thought there had to be a logical explanation, while a few others thought it had to be fake. It's hard to say for sure which it is, but let me hear your thoughts and theories. What could we be dealing with here? Skinwalkers are known to be one of the trickiest and most elusive creatures in lore. They can shape-shift into any form, whether it be an animal or a person. But they have one flaw. Though they can mimic shapes, they never truly get the transformation perfect. These small imperfections are often subtle and hard to notice, unless you're really paying attention. In this case, a woman was out shopping when she encountered something strange. She spotted this dog sitting in a stroller while its owner casually browsed the store. But the dog was staring directly into the camera, unblinking, with wide eyes that seemed unnatural. Now, it's not every day that you hear about a skinwalker being caught on camera, let alone in the form of a pet. But look at those eyes. There's definitely something off. Could this really be a skinwalker in the guise of a dog? Last time I checked, chemicals and processed food items aren't supposed to move on their own. So how is this even possible? To provide context, a woman brought an Oreo and was enjoying it like any other snack. It was all good until she opened one cookie and dropped it almost immediately. It might have looked weird, but she had a good reason. As you can see in the footage, the cream inside the Oreo was wiggling on the counter even after she dropped it. How is this possible? Oreo cream isn't supposed to move like that, right? Is there something about these cookies we don't know? Share your thoughts. While filming a documentary, a photographer launched a drone to get a bird's eye view of a dense, wooded mountain area. As the drone swept over the trees, something strange appeared hidden below. Right there among the treetops, it captured what looked like a massive pale head with large, dark eyes, eerily similar to the descriptions of the classic gray alien we've all heard about. The photographer was stunned, and the footage left everyone debating on what this creature could be. While some people are convinced it's genuine evidence of something otherworldly, others argue it could be the result of clever editing or even just an optical illusion. But what do you think? Could this be a true close encounter or just an elaborate hoax? In September, a hunter's trail camera in the woods captured something startling, footage that left viewers excited. He'd set up 2 cameras in the same area, one positioned higher on a tree while the other was angled lower. What both cameras captured was this, a massive ape-like creature walking through the area. In one of the videos, the creature turns and looks directly toward the camera, revealing facial features that seem strikingly real. Unlike many blurry, questionable videos, this footage is surprisingly clear. You can see the details of the creature's face, its broad shoulders, and thick fur-covered body. In the second clip, it moves effortlessly, leaping over bushes and taking huge strides that seem beyond what a person in a costume could realistically achieve. The size, speed, and ease with which it moves are convincing enough that many viewers believe this could be genuine evidence of something unknown. What do you think? Matrix glitches are some of the most bizarre and mind-bending phenomena that people report all over the world, and this next clip is no exception. A man parked his car in a lot, went about his business, and returned to find something completely unreal. There, lodged into his car, was a tree, but not in an ordinary way. This tree appeared to have grown through the front passenger seat from the ground up through the car's interior. What's even stranger is that you can see the full reflection of the tree's top in the car's windshield, as though it had been there for years. But the man had only parked there a few hours ago. How could a tree have grown into the car in such a short time? It seems that the only explanation for this was a Matrix glitch. Or do you have another explanation? A man visited Clingman Dome, taking several beautiful photos of the sunset. But after returning home and reviewing the images, he noticed something strange. In the top right corner of the sky, there was an odd-looking object. This object didn't resemble any known aircraft, and its triangular shape stood out against the evening sky. While it's difficult to say exactly what it is just from the photo, the owner believes that they captured a UFO. What do you think? Could this be proof of something extraterrestrial or something else? In China, Xiaomi had taken electric scooters to a whole new level with their latest release, the 9-bot scooter. This isn't your ordinary scooter, it's self-driving and self-balancing. What's so impressive is you don't even need to know how to drive it. The scooter uses advanced balancing technology to stay steady and navigate on its own, making it incredibly user-friendly and accessible to almost everyone. Just hop on, and the 9-bot takes care of the rest. A man was out in the woods when he stumbled upon something quite unusual. Hanging from a tree branch, he found a mass of thick, clear jellies with strange-looking brownish spots embedded in them. This looks very odd and unnatural. But in reality, we're looking at amphibian eggs. Amphibians are fascinating creatures with the ability to thrive both in water and on land. They often lay their eggs in clusters and are protected by a thick, gelatinous coating. This jelly-like substance helps keep the eggs safe from drying out and from potential predators. The brown spots inside are the developing embryos. When they're ready, they'll hatch and go through their stages of metamorphosis, moving from tiny aquatic larvae to the frogs, salamanders, or newts we recognize. Next, we've got this footage that was shared by a man claiming he'd captured a Bigfoot in the woods and brought it home. In the video, you can see the creature bound by its hands and legs lying motionless. At first glance, it appears lifeless, and you'd think it was dead. But then, unexpectedly, the creature opens its eyes. It's a startling moment, and it looks directly into the camera. He was showing this off as his trophy, and just like the previous clip, not many are buying it. So what do you think? Is this genuine evidence of a Bigfoot, or could it be something else entirely? Here we have another strange case that some are calling a matrix glitch. A woman was parked in a lot when she noticed something really bizarre. There were 3 identical cars parked near her. One was in front and the other 2 were on either side. The cars were the same make, model, and even the same color. Now here's the really strange part. Although it's not visible in the footage, the woman claimed that all 3 cars had the same license plate number. That's just too weird to be a coincidence. What do you think is going on here? A glitch in the Matrix or something else entirely? In this next footage, a man captured something quite eerie while out in the woods. He was hearing strange noises from all directions but was unable to pinpoint the source, so he decided to start filming, and what he caught on camera shook him. In the grass, small humanoid figures could be seen running around. These tiny beings noticed the man and quickly scattered, darting to hide in the nearest bush. These small creatures bear a striking resemblance to what many call duendes. Duendes are mischievous miniature beings from folklore, often described as similar to gnomes or elves. I don't need to tell you, Julius, our resident science whiz, is convinced this is pure CGI. And maybe you already have your own thoughts, but I'd love to hear what you think. Were these true otherworldly beings or just an elaborate hoax? It's amazing how our minds can sometimes make up things that aren't really there, especially when we already are on edge. Take a look at this footage. A man walks into his home from work down a hallway which is lit except for the room at the other end of the hallway. Through the open door, he notices what appears to be a pale head, just barely peeking out. So he cautiously approaches, only to discover that the head, well, it isn't a head at all, it's just a bag hanging on the doorknob. In the dark, the shape and placement played right into his imagination, turning a harmless object into something creepy. Sometimes it's not just the shadows themselves, but what our minds fill them with that gives us the biggest scare. Next, we've got this footage from a home security camera set up in the kitchen. In the clip, a woman is busy doing something when out of nowhere, the lower compartment of the fridge starts to open and close on its own. The woman, visibly startled, turns around to face the fridge, and her reaction is priceless. You can tell she's completely freaked out. She doesn't waste any time either. She fast walks right out of the kitchen, clearly not wanting to stick around to see what might happen next. Here's where it gets even weirder. After she leaves, the fridge continues its bizarre behavior, opening and closing all on its own, as if controlled by an invisible force. Most people believe this is ghost activity, but what do you think? Wow, and yes, that's a man lying next to a massive bone. Before you scream giant, it's rumored to be the thigh bone of a titanosaur. This gigantic bone was discovered back in 2013 by a farmer in Argentina. He noticed part of it was sticking out of the ground, and that's when the experts were called in to dig it out. What they unearthed was an 8-foot-tall bone. It's nearly the same height as the man lying beside it, which really puts in a perspective just how colossal these creatures once were. Titanosaurs are believed to have been some of the largest dinosaurs to ever walk the earth, and this bone alone speaks to their sheer size. It's mind-blowing to think that something this enormous was roaming our planet millions of years ago. Mesmerizing, right? A family recently shared some eerie footage captured by their backyard security camera, and it's left everyone baffled. In the middle of the night, a whitish, ghostly figure appeared, crawling toward the house. It seemed humanoid, but it moved on all fours with its upper torso out of the camera's view, giving only a glimpse of its arms and legs. What's especially unsettling is that it looked almost transparent. But then, something even stranger happened. Suddenly, the figure rose up on 2 legs as though standing upright, and then calmly walked away from the house before disappearing. So what could this mysterious figure be, and what made it stop, stand, and walk away so suddenly? In Lancashire, England, a security camera captured something strange on a front lawn at dawn. A misty, smoke-like entity appeared out of nowhere, lingering there with no clear shape, just a floating, cloud-like apparition. After a while, it faded away as mysteriously as it had come. The residents of the house were shaken. Having had no prior encounters with anything paranormal, they were left baffled by what it could be. This entity didn't resemble fog or anything typical of early mornings. It looked like something out of a ghost story. So what could it be? Moving on, we have this chilling image taken by a man who decided to explore an abandoned building one night. Venturing out alone, he got closer to the eerie structure when something caught his eye. It was a creature crouched on the ground in front of the building. According to the man, the creature ran off as soon as it noticed him, but not before he managed to snap this photo. I've looked at it several times, and I'm not able to confidently make out what it might be. You see it on your screens too. What do you think we're dealing with? A hunter was out in the woods tracking deer when he suddenly saw something strange walking just meters away from him. Completely stunned by the sight, he quickly gathered his composure and managed to take this picture. The creature, estimated to be 8 feet tall or even more, casually strolled by. Take a good look. Most people are convinced it's Bigfoot. Naturally, with all the recent Bigfoot clips, everyone's wondering if this is the real deal. This new footage shows an eerie creature with a glowing, otherworldly aura dashing across the water's surface, moving with a bizarre agility that almost seems impossible. It was taken in North Carolina on October the 12th, 2024, and it bears an uncanny resemblance to the creature seen in the earlier footage captured in the desert. This one, however, not only appears luminous, but also shows an unusual ability to skim across the water, a sight many would expect only in myths. While some believe it could be a genuine cryptid or supernatural entity, others argue it might be AI-generated. The hyper-realistic quality and unnatural movements make everything more unexplainable. Could this be a glimpse of a genuine, unknown being, or is it simply a masterful rendered piece of digital art? Either way, it's definitely leaving viewers on edge. Most of us put in the effort to stay clean, scrubbing down regularly. But here's a fact that might make your skin crawl. There are tiny parasites that live right on our faces, and most of us don't even know it. These microscopic creatures, called demodex, are invisible to the naked eye, which is probably for the best. Demodex mites are tiny parasites that take up residence in our pores and hair follicles, especially attracted to the natural oils in our skin. They tend to cluster around areas like our eyebrows, eyelashes, and nose. While their presence might sound unsettling, they're typically harmless. So small and specialized, these mites go largely unnoticed, allowing most of us to live completely unaware of their existence. So next time you're washing your face, remember, you're never truly alone. A hiker was out exploring the mountains when he stumbled upon something extraordinary. As he climbed higher into the highlands, he noticed a large creature perched on a massive rock. The creature had thick white fur and was sitting upright, almost human-like in posture. From its size and proportions, this was no ordinary animal. Its massive frame and humanoid shape resembled a Bigfoot. The sighting has stirred up quite a bit of speculation. Could this be an extremely rare version of the elusive Bigfoot, an albino variant? Many people have shared their theories, but no one has come up with a definitive explanation. What do you think? Possession. Most people see it as people getting taken over by some sort of entity or spirit. But is that really the case? Well, let's take a look at this footage. In the clip, a young man is seen writhing in a dirty gutter, his body thrashing wildly. No one knows what led to this moment or why he suddenly lost control. 1 minute he was fine, and the next he was flailing uncontrollably, eventually ending up in the gutter. The behavior is erratic and his movements seem unnatural, fueling the belief that this could be a case of demonic possession or spiritual influence. But skeptics say it could have been a medical condition or even a psychological break that caused his actions. What are your thoughts? Have you ever seen a plane do this before? Just look at how it moves side to side and then rotates in the air. It doesn't seem to be having any technical difficulties either. The person who shared the footage claims it's real, but can pilots really pull off these stunts with a passenger plane? Watching the footage is mesmerizing and a bit unnerving. The plane's movements are fluid and almost acrobatic, which is something you'd expect from a fighter jet, not a commercial passenger aircraft. It weaves side to side, performs sharp banks, and even rotates in mid-air in a way that almost seems too precise and controlled for such a large plane. If this footage is genuine, it raises many questions. First and foremost, are such maneuvers even possible for a passenger plane? While commercial aircraft are designed to withstand significant stress and perform basic evasive maneuvers, they're not built for the kind of aerial stunts shown in the video. The physics of flight for a large, heavily laden plane are vastly different from those of a nimble fighter jet or aerobatic plane. What are your thoughts? Do you believe the footage is genuine, or could it be a cleverly edited clip? This was taken in 2019. A man captured this strange-looking circle in the sky. This thing looks like a portal. The footage shows a perfect circular formation, glowing with an eerie light hanging suspended in the sky. It's not something you see every day, and it immediately raises questions. Could this be a natural phenomenon, or is it something more mysterious? Some people believe that these circles could be portals to other dimensions, gateways that allow beings to travel between worlds. This theory is popular among those who support the existence of parallel universes and otherworldly beings. Others suggest that it might be a rare atmospheric event like a halo or a lenticular cloud, which can sometimes take on unusual shapes and appearances due to specific weather conditions. Then there are those who think it could be an elaborate hoax created with CGI or other special effects, but the man who captured the footage insists it was real and that he saw it with his own eyes. What do you think? Could this be evidence of a portal in the sky, or is the one who uploaded it lying, as everyone has said? Still on homeowners and property owners, the owner of this footage noticed someone was breaking into his property and set up a trail cam. From the clip, we can clearly tell it's no animal, it's human. Some who saw it thought it was weird to see a human's light reflect light, but if you have the right infrared cam, it's not so weird. Now, the main question on everyone's mind is this just an ordinary human breaking into his property for her own dubious reasons, or could we really be dealing with a supernatural being taking on the form of a human? Well, everyone who's seen the clip has joked it's his mother-in-law, but what do you guys think? Next, we visit Australia, the home of the redback spider. Oh, sorry, I just had to get that off my chest, even though this clip has nothing to do with the highly venomous redback spider. Anyway, enjoy. If you can't recognize the skeleton you're looking at, that's fine, because almost all who saw it couldn't identify it either. Some thought it was a dugong, but that just didn't make sense. Did I say everyone? No, forgive me. The scientific and logical community couldn't identify it. The paranormal community, however, think we may be dealing with the real skeleton of a mermaid or something closely related. Looking at it, I have to agree, and because I didn't want Julius shooting down my beliefs with his poorly informed logic, I didn't tell him. But guys, tell me you don't see a mermaid when you look at this. If you do, I won't bring this subject up ever again. In this next footage, you can see something truly extraordinary, a tube of clouds extending from the sky down to the earth. It's an astonishing sight, almost like a celestial pillar connecting the heavens to the ground. The footage shows this tube of clouds slowly forming and descending, creating an ethereal and somewhat eerie visual. It's easy to see why this would spark the imagination and curiosity of anyone who witnesses it. The question is, what could it be? Some people, aka Aaron, believe this phenomenon is alien-related. They suggest that the cloud tube could be a manifestation of advanced extraterrestrial technology, perhaps a method of transportation or communication. The idea of a cloud-like structure being used by aliens fits well within the framework of many UFO theories, where unusual weather patterns or atmospheric phenomena are linked to the presence of alien crafts or activities. On the other hand, there are those who believe this is simply a natural phenomenon. In meteorology, there are several explanations for such occurrences. One possibility is a funnel cloud, which forms as a rotating column of air and condensation. While funnel clouds are typically precursors to tornadoes, not all of them touch down to become tornadoes. Sometimes these funnel clouds can appear quite dramatic and extend from the sky to the ground, resembling a tube of clouds. Which of these do you think is explaining what we're seeing?
And I find my wife in bed, very ill, almost unable to move. I rush to the hospital. They do a CAT scan. They find a brain tumor.
I've heard a lot of 1 in a million stories, but none gave me chills like this man's. As he speaks, we can see a bump on the right side of his forehead. According to him, in 2012, he passed out while out in town and was rushed to the hospital. Having hit his head, he was bleeding, and health workers ran a thorough check. The odd thing is, despite having fainted and being rushed to hospital, they found nothing wrong with him. His boss then asked him to go home because he couldn't work in that state. The bizarre thing about the story is that he gets home to find his wife collapsed in bed very ill. He rushes her to the hospital after being on the road for 5 hours, and they run a CT scan which reveals she had a tumor. The doctors tell him that had he brought her in later than he did, they would have lost her. An emergency surgery takes place, and a lemon-sized tumor is pulled out of the right frontal lobe, which is exactly where he'd hit his head. What are the odds?
They say if I hadn't gotten there within hours, she would have been in a coma. They do emergency surgery. They pull a lemon-sized tumor out of the right frontal lobe of her brain, precisely where I hit my head.
Moving on, we visit Venezuela for our next clip. Just in case it was not clear already, what you are seeing is a bird sitting on a power line. This was allegedly recorded by a lady who looked out of her window and saw the unusual-looking bird right outside her home. The low quality of the footage coupled with the white look gives the bird a pre-rendered look, which is basically what
3D objects look like digitally before they're worked on and perfected. She believes it's either a bruja or brujo. For those not familiar with the term, a bruja, which is female, or brujo, which is male, is a Spanish term for a witch or sorcerer, traditionally found in Latin America and Spanish cultures. These figures are believed to possess supernatural powers, often associated with magic, healing, or spiritual practices. Once she uploaded the clip, opinions were divided. Some shared similar experiences, whereas others called her out for attempting to deceive them. I have my own reservations about this, but I would love to hear your opinions. What do you think is going on here? Trail cameras have become a crucial tool in capturing rare glimpses of cryptids, those elusive, often mysterious creatures that roam the wild. In this particular footage, we see something truly eerie. In the dead of night, a large figure emerges from behind the trees and moves slowly across the scene. While it's hard to make out clear details due to the distance, the creature appears to be much taller than the trees nearby, giving it a towering, almost shadowy presence. What stands out is its slow, deliberate movement and the fact that it's walking on two legs. The way it glides through the darkness, barely making a sound, adds to its unsettling nature. The footage doesn't provide a clear enough view to identify it, but its size and the bipedal motion suggest it could be more than just an animal, perhaps a cryptid yet to be documented. Julius thinks it's AI, but what do you also think? By now, we all know about the assassination attempt on Trump. But did you know that a few months before the incident, a man predicted it and got every single detail right, from the exact area where he got hurt to his crouching down?
I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame.
This man is known as Prophet Brandon Biggs. He made the prediction on March the 14th, 2024, exactly 4 months before the incident. He claimed he had a supernatural visitation from God and warned that there was more to come upon the United States. Prophet Biggs described the incident with eerie precision. Do you like light shows? If you do, get ready to be amazed by nature's light show. What you're seeing is an incredible glow of bioluminescent water, an absolutely mesmerizing phenomenon. Bioluminescent plankton, or algae as they're called, are the ones behind this magical glow. Anytime night falls and darkness descends upon the coastal waters, this remarkable transformation takes place. These tiny organisms are endowed with the extraordinary ability to produce light through chemical reactions within their cells and cast a radiant glow upon the surface of the sea. With each gentle movement of the water, the bioluminescent organisms shimmer and sparkle, creating a mesmerizing display that captivates all who behold it. Beautiful, isn't it? What if I told you that the world's strongest man has got nothing on the man I'm about to introduce? Think I'm joking? Well, take a look. Yeah, that's a man carrying a rock that appears to have been hewn from a mountain or something of that sort. It's not every day you get to see someone carrying one of those, since heavy machinery is typically the appropriate thing to transport them. Could this be how the pyramids were built? Well, Julius doesn't think so, and I agree with him. And no, the stars didn't align and the world is not ending. I just think he looks too comfortable to be carrying something like this. It has to be a prop. There's no way this is real. If it was, it would have reflected in his movement. Either that, or he's so strong that he doesn't need to. What do you guys think? A document from the CIA has recently become declassified, and it seems to contain information that suggests that the CIA had ongoing projects to investigate the existence of life on Mars. These projects did confirm that life existed on Mars and that they were or are pyramids on the Red Planet. They didn't go there to make this confirmation, though. No, they paid a remote viewer to do that for them. For this unfamiliar with the term, in paranormal terms, a remote viewer is a person who claims to possess the ability to see or perceive events, locations, or objects from a distance without being physically present. This phenomenon is often associated with a practice called remote viewing, or RV for short, which gained attention in the 1970s and 1980s, particularly due to US government-funded programs like Project Stargate, aimed at investigating psychic phenomena for potential military and intelligence applications. Now, back to the story. Scientists tasked a remote viewer with visiting Mars, but here's the twist. The timeline was set to 1 million years BC. Astonishingly, the viewer claimed not only to have visited Mars, but also to have encountered beings living and thriving on the planet. What's even more fascinating is that before these declassified documents surfaced, rumors swirled that remote viewers had already unraveled Mars's ancient history. They reportedly documented an era when tall, advanced beings inhabited the planet long before it was allegedly destroyed in a catastrophic galactic war. Strange, I know, but these are the astonishing glimpses remote viewers claim to have seen. If they're to be believed, then I wonder what else our government is hiding from us. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you at the beginning of 2025. So you have a great new year, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.